looking at the stats, looking at the numbers, I just don't see where Ole Miss is a big favorite. And they're not. The betting line, I don't even know where it is. Earlier in the week, it was over 10. I'll look that up now. But tell me where the advantage lies for Ole Miss. Not intangibles. I'm talking about tangible statistics, numbers, players. Tell me where the advantage for Ole Miss is. You can say it's Chad Kelly, but I'm telling you, the numbers don't bear that out. Now, we know what we see. Chad Kelly beat Alabama last year. Chad Kelly has more experience. Chad Kelly makes sometimes better throws. But with two freshman quarterbacks, Alabama leads the SEC in yards per attempt. Maybe nothing illustrates what this Alabama offense is right now more than that statistic, because it is a big play offense. Right? I mean, in a lot of ways, this offense is feast or famine. We haven't seen a lot of 10-play drives from Alabama. We see a big pass that scores. We've seen a couple big runs from Damian Harris. That's what this offense is. It's a big play offense. They have lacked the ability to consistently drive the ball down the field. But when you're telling me that those two quarterbacks, Blake Barnett and Jalen Hurts, they lead the SEC in yards per attempt. Chad Kelly, who everyone told you, and I told you, everyone, I include myself in that, everyone told you he was the best returning quarterback in the SEC. Alabama, and again, as Wayne said, and I have said and will point out, it's a limited sample size. It's 2 games, but that's all we have to go on right now. It's also very fair to point out Ole Miss played Florida State in week 1. That could skew the numbers. Alabama opened as an 8.5-point favorite, and right now it is as high as 11. I don't know if I'd take it at 11. If I get it at 10, I'm taking Alabama laying the points. I don't know why. I think it's a 13. I think it's a 10 to 13 point game. I don't see any area tangibly where Ole Miss has an advantage. And I didn't go over this in the show. I want to know if, Ryan, you saw this story. It was last week. Someone, maybe it was the Wall Street Journal, someone wrote a story that home field advantage being a huge advantage is a myth. Did you see that?
I saw something about it. I never read it though, but I saw it floating around out there on the Twitterverse.
I don't have a Wall Street Journal. I think it was Wall Street Journal. I don't have a subscription, so I couldn't read it. But people that I trust in sports analytics read it, and in fact went into it believing there's no way this article's premise can prove to be true. Read the article, looked at the numbers and the science behind it, and said it's true. So if we go off that, you can't even give Ole Miss a lot of advantage from being at home. So tell me, where is this advantage that Ole Miss has over Alabama? Literally almost every statistic that I've compared, Alabama leads. Again, especially on the defensive side, you have to weigh in the fact that Ole Miss played a really good Florida State team, and that probably brought their numbers down some. You also factor in they played a Wofford team last week. Isn't that who they played? Wofford? So maybe that balances each other out too. The one key area in my mind that will prevent Alabama from winning Saturday is if they turn the ball over. If they don't turn the ball over a lot, I think they win, and I think they win fairly handily. Again, I'm not calling for a blowout or anything, but I think it's a comfortable 10, 13-point win. How's that for your shocking prediction? Coming from me, Mr. Pessimist, as I've been labeled by so many of my friends, Am I too cocky in this feeling?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling these feelings of overconfidence. Is that what I'm getting from you, Little John?
Yeah.
Okay. So pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Huh. I will refuse to pump the brakes because I think Alabama's going to put it to them.
What?
I think Alabama wins.
What?
They're going to win.
Yeah.
That 2-game win streak is over. I think Ole Miss has got a really good football team. I do. I think their inability to run the football is going to hurt them. More than anything, I think Chad Kelly's confidence in himself will hurt them because Alabama's secondary is better than it was last year. Alabama's secondary is maybe as good as it's been in Nick Saban's tenure at Alabama. I'm approaching confidence levels in this defense not seen since 2011. I don't know how much more praise I can give it to adequately express how good I think they are on defense. Unless Alabama turns the ball over, I don't think Ole Miss can score enough to beat Alabama. Now, technically, yeah, you can win a game 2-0. So, yeah, there's always that possibility that Alabama's offense does absolutely nothing. And maybe they give up some points. You know, maybe there's a pick six or a fumble return for a touchdown or a special teams. But outside of that, Ole Miss ain't driving the ball up and down on Alabama. In the way I see this game, I do not see it playing out that way. And in my feeling, if you keep throwing the ball up like I know they're going to, Alabama's going to take a few away. I can see this being a game Alabama has 2 or 3 interceptions. They've got 3, don't they, in 2 games? I can see this being a game Alabama takes the ball away in the air 2 or 3 times.